All right. You run forward, and as he leans over the halfling who is clutching his chest, kneeling upon the ground, the goblin brings his spider fang dagger down once more and doesn't quite see you in time, Roland, as you bring your hand axe swooping upwards and connect it with his left arm, just removing it. Actually, you know what? For him, I'm going to roll crits because he's kind of important. Roll me a... Actually, I'll roll for him since I guess we're rolling defensively. Now we'll roll offensively. It's more fun. Roll me a D100.
Do you regret your decision?
Ooh, that's not good. So it's an arm, and he has nothing left. Mangled. All right, your axe connects with his hand, and it just explodes into bloody ruin. His glorious dagger flying up into the air and landing upon the web behind him. And he screeches as he gains just a lot, and then he needs a hard endurance. As he screeches, his eyes roll back, and he falls back upon the web. His arm, his mangled hand, gushing out blood onto the ground. And he is very close to death. He's probably about to die. Vertstat, you're up.
All right, Vertstat will move just a little bit.
Okay. You have a lot of magic built up.
Yep, and then going to cast the first fire spell of the campaign on, I think, the big boss is dead, right?
Yeah, he's basically dead.
Okay, then yes, on the giant group of spiderlings.
Okay.
Alright, so I have all the magic, so it's casting number of 0.
Okay.
Here's hoping.
A big fire spell. This will... Oh my gosh!
Big!
Oh no, it's AoE! My swarm! No!
It is?
I mean, that's how you deal with them.
Alright, so you throw up your hands.
So 11, and they all get in a blaze condition.
I don't think it matters. You hold up your hand and hurl this immense fireball into the midst of these spiderling swarms, just as they're starting to make their way out from their egg sacs, having finally been born into life in the world, just doing what spiders do, minding their own damn business. And this fireball just lands among them, and it just incinerates the entire group, and there is a chorus of tiny shrieks as the spiders are just completely and utterly immolated, along with all of their glorious egg sacs and any unborn siblings they may have had.
The sound of my chanting slowly fades as the fire does.
Wrist, you're up and in a lot of pain, and there's still an archer.
Did
he get a stunned condition?
Me? No. Did I get a stunned?
I'll read it off one more time. You got a cracked rib. Yes, you're stunned. So yeah, I think you are at -10 for everything you try to do until you pass a endurance check.
I can't take actions until...
Oh, okay. Then you can't do anything.
Just the endurance check, I think.
Stunned is... Oh, you can oppose other checks. And that's pretty much it. At the end of each round, you may... Okay. Yep. So you can't do anything. All right. Then this is the defining moment. The archer, looking down at his chieftain who has been brutally slain, hurls himself at the Spiderfang dagger and intends to bring it slashing around. Now, because I like dramatics, Roland, I will give you a choice. Would you like to try and put yourself between the halfling and this goblin? Or are you just going to do your best to not get killed? There is no wrong answer, only an answer that amuses the GM.
Can I spend what advantage I have to try and swing at him while he's going at it?
No, but you can spend what advantage you have to try and parry him without any penalties.
Deal. I'll go between him and try to parry it.
Okay. Nuffle favors me.
I did this for you, halfling.
All right.
Corn whispers. Corn whispers.
A corn whispers. That's true. Oh, that's a good point. Not this time. He doesn't. Well, I guess. Let me think for a second about my future plans.
Corn thinks.
I won't tell you what power it is, because that doesn't matter for you, but it matters for me. Hey, Roland. You hear, as time slows down, as you step forward, you realize that having to come up onto the web to fight the spiders, or to fight the goblins have used some kind of material on their clothing, or maybe their skin, or maybe they're just used to it, where they can move across the webs with little to no issue. But you're sticking to it. And you realize as you're attempting to parry that you're way off. And not only are you way off, but you're going to have to roll on a mystical chart that you may or may not do something really bad that may result in you either losing your weapon, accidentally killing the halfling, but but you're going to get stabbed either way. However, at the very whispers of your mind, you hear a voice suggesting, what if that wasn't the case? What if you could maybe try again? In exchange for just a little something in the future. Would you accept that bargain or just deal with the consequences of your actions?
I have a corruption already. Join the club.
Does the 16-year-old career criminal accept the consequences of his actions?
Maybe he's turning over a new leaf. You don't know that.
Are you kidding? Does a 16-year-old criminal accept the consequences of the halfling's actions?
I defy this power. I'm spending a resilience point.
Oh, okay. That is another option.
I choose a 1 for my parry roll.
I might recommend choosing an 11, because if you choose an 11, then you get to critically wound.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot that was how that worked.
All right. Because you have to have a double. All right. So you defy this foul power and instead reach deeper into your own resolve. And in a moment of true heroism, you bring your axe slicing just to smash into this goblin's arm. Roll a D100 so we can figure out the hit location. And then roll a... Actually, we'll just say it hits him in the left arm where he's holding the dagger. 40? I think that's actually correct. 40 is right arm. Good, I'll take it. Oh yeah, I guess the goblin would be right-handed anyway. So you hit him in his arm. Now roll me a D100 minus 20 so we figure out what the roll on the crit table is. So
I think it's a minimum 1.
Yes, it is a minimum of 1. So he's going to get critical. Here we go. Arms. Arm. You get a jarred arm. His arm is jarred. He takes a wound, and he drops the dagger onto the web. He also takes a little bit of damage. All right, Verve, you're up. He's disarmed. Wrist, you're still poisoned. And roll again for your stun. With another minus 10. Okay, you're still stunned. But you're not unconscious. Alright, there are no other targets to hit that you can see. So
And now he's toast.
you throw out your hands and a bolt of lightning surges across the room, slams into the goblin, which throws him back against the web a bit, but he is still alive. Roland, you're up. Oh, and the boss does bleed out. He lets out a shuddering sigh and goes still. At the end of the round, because he's unconscious and bleeding. I assume you're just going to swing.
Yep. Is the halfling still... No, definitely not.
All right, you bring the axe down with a roar, and it severs completely through the goblin's left arm, who lets out another horrible sound. And as the blood just pours out into the depths below, he goes still and pales. And all goes silent, except for the halfling's labored breathing and your own exhausted breaths.
I'm going to carry the halfling away from the webbing.
Okay.
Ow!
Stat.
Ow! Oh.
Yes.
What would you like to do on your turn?
Oh dear. Okay. Wrist isn't bleeding, right? No.
He is not bleeding.
Nope.
He is poisoned, but he's not bleeding.
Yeah.
Can one of you use your magic to do something?
To put it shortly, I don't think so. And then, is there anything
So-
defensive I can do?
What conditions does...
He is currently stunned and he's currently poisoned. So he's at minus 20 for his endurance checks, but he's not in danger of dying. He just can't do anything.
I mean, for my turn, I guess I help carry wrist over to like this choke point right here.
I will... Does he have to be...
I will
Like-
also assist in that.
Can I give him a healing draught?
No, because as long as he's poisoned at 0 wounds, he cannot heal.
Got you. Okay.
The poison has to be removed first.
Okay.
As you're about to drag him, all of you hear some clacking sound coming from the depths of the pit. As all that blood has been dripping down, you hear it suddenly impacting something, as if there's a floor there that wasn't there before.
Verstad, whatever you did before, I need you to do it again.
At the end of the lantern's vision, all of you can see a concerningly large chitinous leg come reaching up over the edge of the pit.
Didn't I buy an antitoxin kit when we were in that? Torches. I do have an antitoxin kit.
Oh, that's helpful.
So specific.
So, I will say pull him further back, like back over here. And I will hand you, well, I guess I will take out the kit and get to work.
God, I'm trying to remember what page that's even on. Antitoxin kit. There it is. Alright, you just have to, someone just has to perform a heal check on him. Those of you who are not the halfling and still awake hear another thunderous thud as something continues to pull itself up. We're no longer in turn order. We don't need this.
The thing is, I don't have heal.
I believe anyone can perform a heal check.
You can make a dexterity test for bandages.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know if that counts for healing with
No,
the
you-
antitoxin kit.
You would need to find someone who can actually heal.
Well, that was a useless buy.
For the moment.
Gotta read the instructions.
Riss, take your endurance checks again at minus 20. Start with your stunned, then do poison. No. Oof. Alright. You, those of you who are heading that kind of thing, that head there, you see a immense shape starting to slowly work its way towards you, and you see eyes gleaming at you. And as this spider starts to crawl into view, Verve and Vertstat, looking at this thing, you kind of recognize it. As across the creature's body are numerous burns.
Oh.
Oh shit.
And the creature seems to regard the three of you for a moment. Some of its eyes sealed shut by damage it's taken in some prior incident. And as it focuses its attention on the two of you wizards especially, it opens its mouth and a high-pitched whining shriek emits, and it starts to crawl towards you at a very alarming speed.
Fuck nuggets.
Reroll initiative.
All right, give me a minute.
We won't have a minute.
Verve, you're up. This thing is
All right.
pissed.
Zappity zap zap. Nope.
Okay, Roland.
But,
Oh, all of you need a fear check. He's bigger than you.
cool test. I make my cool test.
Oof. Saved by the bell.
Exactly.
You do get advantage if you have any.
Did
Okay.
our advantage not disappear? Oh yeah, this was immediately after.
Yeah. Yep, you still have it.
I think I only went ahead +1, so I don't think that passes.
I had +4.
All right, Sotek, I'm going to use 2 resolve, rid of poisoned and stunned.
Okay. Halfling, as you hear the horrible shrieking noise, you force yourself through sheer willpower to power through and shake off the ill effects bothering you. And you sit up and see a large, horrifying creature shambling towards the lot of you. Roland, you are cool as a cucumber.
I am going full defense this turn.
I think you need a terror check, Halfling? Due to the difference in
I
size?
need a terror check, yeah.
No,
So
it's
actually, I'm going to
fear.
use...
It's fear 2
Oh, it's fear 2. That's right.
because the
Fear
amount of size categories up increases the fear number.
That is correct.
So it gives you a big penalty, which is debatably worse.
All right,
Yeah,
I will
think-
make that check. Sotek, I'm changing. I'm not getting... Instead of getting the rid of poison and stunned, I'm going to use the resolve to get rid of poison and then the prone condition. So I am standing up with 1 wound, but I am still stunned.
I don't think you were ever knocked prone.
By being at 0 wounds, you are automatically prone.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Then you're still stunned. Okay. Are you sure? Stun gives you a -10.
Grab
Yes,
the halfling
but
and run.
I can stand up
Yep.
and walk.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
There's nowhere to run to.
And you can go back out the entrance.
Yeah.
Those warhounds are still outside.
Maybe, allegedly. All right,
They,
I'm scared.
The last thing they said is that they were coming closer.
Riss, you
and-
are very scared.
Whatever.
Vertstat, you are very scared. Which does mean you can run away. You're not frozen in place. Roland, you're up.
I'm going full defense.
Okay. In dodge or parry. You have to pick one.
Shit, you're right.
Keep in mind he's larger than you,
Yep.
so parrying him is hard.
Dodge.
Okay, Vertstat, you're up. I might recommend to GTFO.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab whatever handfuls of people in halfling I can and make my way. this way.
You can take wrist with you.
I will grab wrist.
All right. The spider comes to about here, and unfortunately, spiders do have this very uncanny ability, and this one's going to use it, where it's going to, because it can't quite fit where you two are standing, it's going to reach down and begin spinning something very, very rapidly. Wrist, you're up.
I'm stunned.
Roll a check. Because it's the end of the round now. You're only at -10. Still stunned. Verve, you're
Still
up.
stunned.
This thing is generating a web very quickly, and it looks like a big web.
Well, if I get out of line of sight,
Run!
that should be useful. So I will run.
Okay, you run away. Do you want to sprint, or do you just want to run?
I'm going to get ahead of everyone else, so I will sprint.
Okay,
And
so...
make sure that there's no dogs. If there's dogs, then I got to start casting.
Alright, so you can move up to 15 yards? No, I think it's double that, right? So it'd be 30 yards. And then roll an athletics check. And for every success level positive you get, you add another yard. Alright, so 33 yards. You're out of here. Roland, you're up. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
I was just thinking about something.
Okay.
Because, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That arrow right there.
Oh, yeah,
if it's spinning something and it's a ranged attack of any kind, it can definitely hit them. Even if they
well,
got there.
keep in mind it's only faster than wrist. And wrist is being carried.
But if that's spinning as a ranged attack, he'll be able to hit them with it.
Potentially. Verve, as you emerge into the wider cave, the entrance, you see a bloody smear where the old Warhound was, dragging out into the storm. But there is a ton of thunder and lightning, and you can even hear what you think is hail, but you don't see or hear anything other than the spider shrieking from behind you.
All right.
What you gonna do, Roland?
Run, we can make it out.
Yep, this time I'm just gonna go.
Okay, do you want to sprint? Do you want to try and... Where do you want to... Do you just want to head for the entrance? I'm not going to reveal how far this thing can throw its web, just to keep things tense.
I guess I'll do that thing where I spend all the turn and go 24, like you said before.
Okay, do you want to roll in athletics as well to get some extra? Oh, that'll take you to the entrance. Okay, that's fine. No, you're good. Birdstat.
Okay.
So how far can me and Wrist go if we're running, I guess?
You will be restricted by Wrist's highest movement unless you roll a check to physically, like, move him forcefully.
Would there be a penalty if I fail said check? I guess probably, right?
You could potentially drop Wrist, yes.
Yeah. So, how far can I move him like this?
Wrist, what's your run?
Well, am I being carried or am I moving along?
Kind of a halfway point.
Okay, so I am stunned, so I'm at half movement. And for the fractured rib, I am at half movement. At a run, I am movement 4, which means I am movement 1 while running.
Tell you what, I'll split the difference. Verdstat, you can move your run movement, or sorry, your walk movement. You can move your walk movement, but if you do so, the halfling's going to have to take an endurance check, and if he fails, he goes unconscious.
Okay.
Due to the pain of being super stunned, dizzy, and having a cracked rib.
I'm sorry, Wrist, but we gotta go. And I take him as far as I can.
Okay, Wrist, roll me an endurance check. You are at -10 for stunned. Alright, you go unconscious. You'll be okay. And as you make it there, Vertstat, you see the spider trying to force itself into the tunnel, and it arcs itself very strangely, and its bottom two limbs grab onto the web pile, and it hurls it. And it comes searing across the room.
I shield Wrist from it, if I can. Like, if it's coming for him, I put my body in front of it.
Alright, Oh, give me a second. Alright, it hits you.
Okay.
The web impacts your back. You will drop wrist. He'll be okay. He's already unconscious. And it starts to pull you back. You must roll now an opposed strength check against it.
Okay.
But you're testing against the web, not the spider, because you don't have a hope in hell of overpowering the spider.
Fair enough.
So basically, you roll a strength check, and and I will roll its opposed strength check, and you need to have a higher success rating than the web does to break free of it.
Okay. That's not good.
Ooh, hold on. Oh, you barely get away. All right, so you pull forward, grunting, and you hear whatever shirt you're wearing tear a little bit as some of it is ripped away by the webbing. But with a final grunt, you manage to rip yourself out of it, and it takes a good amount of your robes with it. But the spider lets out an agonized and angry, just horrible noise as it realizes its quarry has escaped, and the four of you make it back into the cave.
Whoa.
And the spider's angered howls very quickly fade away. But it is storming like a motherfucker outside. And y'all are, it's a little past midnight at this point.
Ristat's gonna be checking on Wrist. He's unconscious?
Yes, he is. Because he just had to be a fucking hero.
Well, I stop us at the edge of the cave, and we'll basically say, if we go out in that, he'll die. If we all go out in that, we'll all die.
Why don't we just stay here at the mouth of the cave?
I will not. I'm gonna try and get the fire going.
Okay. Give me an outdoor
It's an
survival.
outdoor. Yep. Okay.
Unless you want to use magic.
We do have the lantern still going?
Oh, that's true. You do have a lantern. You could just kind of chuck some of that in there.
I dropped that back in the cave when I fell unconscious.
That's
Oh.
been dropped then.
Good point. It's back with the spider.
Oh, I wish I had
But-
known that. I would have picked it up.
So, I will say to Verve real quick, I can try if you want, or maybe
I'll go ahead and hand wave it and say y'all still have the lantern.
We still have the lantern. Here you go.
Because there's no way in hell
Well-
the human would have let that thing go in the cave. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to see.
I was about to say, we wouldn't have been able
No,
to see
'cause
anything
was on-
past... Huh?
You would have, because I held on to it till I went unconscious, which was right before we left the area.
Oh, then y'all easily would have picked it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you easily have it. It's not a big deal.
All right. I get a fire started.
All right, I would recommend putting the lantern out if you don't want it to keep burning. It has lost an hour's worth of fuel.
Yeah, I will put out the lantern.
All right, so I get to learn the broken bone rules. That'll be fun.
I'm going
have
to lay
minus
again-
30 to strength and agility for like a month.
Yikes.
I'm gonna just lean against the cave wall and start to pass out.
Yeah, Verstat's just gonna lay on the ground and have a hand on Wrist, I think.
Wrist, roll me a d10. Oh, that's good. It will take you 31 days to heal your ribs back to normal. Though you will have to take a special check at the end of those 31 days. I'm going to make a note of that.
I will make sure wrist sits close. I'm probably still soaked from the rain, so I will sit close to the fire. Even though I am not looking towards the cave, I am looking out at lightning.
All right. And y'all are going to huddle close to the fire, I imagine. So I'm not going to punish the elf for going out into a storm. And as the night passes, who of you is going to sleep? Riss doesn't have a choice. Riss has to sleep.
Well,
I'm
as long as there's
absolutely
lightning,
going to sleep.
as long as there's lightning, I don't sleep.
All right, Verve, you'll stay up for the night then. And as the sun starts to rise in the morning, the storm finally breaks and opens up, and things have returned to some horrible, mangled sense of normalcy. And I think that will be a great place to stop. Because we've been going for 5 hours.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot.
Hate goblins.
Also...
And spiders. Fuck them too.
Dude, I'm terrified of spiders. If I had just been eaten alive by a spider, it would have been terrible.
So, before we end, we do actually have to do one other check, which is for infestation. Which is not as bad as it sounds, because this is coming from the goblins, not the spider. So, infestation is because they have really dirty, gross weapons. So, everyone who took any damage from a goblin needs to roll a infected check at... It needs to roll an endurance check at plus 40. And if you fail, then I'm going to put a disease in your blood. Everyone's okay.
Thank
you all have
goodness.
good immune systems.
Thanks for having one now.
All right, you rest easy over the night. Nothing else super horrible, terrible happens. And you survive until morning. And from what you can tell, the beastman or whatever it was that was running around with those dogs is gone. Can y'all see the entire map again?
Not yet.
What the heck? I turned off dynamic lighting. So
That's weird.
Why is it... Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll fix it later. Alright. So, with that, I'm going to give everybody... Man, we had a lot of cool stuff happen. First of all, let me check some character sheet stuff. This is something I need to have been doing more often. So, Roland... What's your ambition? Wanderlust? Roland, if you're not at max resolve, gain a resolve point for wandering outside your comfort zone. Risk, the thrill of taking risks. Gain another resolve point for all the bullshit you've done this session.
Yay!
We'll put you at a net positive of 1.
Nice.
You don't have a motivation, Vertstat. Where did it go?
Under what?
Write it in there.
Under which section?
Under motivation on main. Elf, you're already at max resolve, so nothing I can do for you.
I'm not seeing motive. Oh, okay, there it is.
Alright, and everybody gets, yeah, let's do 100 experience.
Okay, there's my motivation. Sorry, it was in bio.
Oh, okay. Yep, you get a resolve too.
Nice.
For your wonderful burning my swarms incident. I'm really sad.
That was a hell of a session.
I'm really sad I didn't get to use swarms. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We'll pick up next time, the morning after, like many parties where everyone's going to be hungover and horribly wounded. Make sure you save on your character sheet how much damage your character has taken. If you need me to go back to the prior map and check because the character on this map isn't the same one, then I can do that. And for everyone watching, thanks for watching.